Some of the features right off the bat, double wall foam panel construction. So it's got R13 panels, which if you ever hit one and slam one, they're like a rock. So it's really solid and it's very efficient because it's insulated real well. Also, the paint system that AAON uses is what's called a 2,500 hour rated paint. And you can just see by the paint there, it looks really nice. So that keeps it good and keeps it from corrosion for a lot longer than a standard unit. Like a standard off-the-shelf unit has like 500 hour rated paint system. Okay, so that's just a couple things. Some of the other things you may have noticed is, you can kind of see it here too. It's got a full-length piano hinge. Let's see if I can get my pen. So it's a little bit hard to see here. I'll point it out in some of the other videos. And that's, it. You know, a lot of the competitors' units will have, you take off, 25 bolts, you take off the panel, you throw the panel on the ground, you put the panel back up, you put half the bolts back on, it's leaking. It's not very clean. This has got the nice handle on the outside. So these are the premium features in terms of the construction of the unit that are important, okay? When you start getting into the ability to control temperature and humidity in special applications, that's also what sets this apart. So I kind of look at it in two different buckets there. This is your standard control panel here, and I'll go through a little bit more of this as well, there's a good shot there. I'll stop this here. Okay, so these compressors here, I believe these are VFD compressors. We're going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to show you the difference between a VCC, a variable capacity compressor, and a VFD, or variable speed compressor. Two very common compressors you'll get in an AAON unit. Sometimes you'll get both. Sometimes you'll get one or the other. Sometimes you get a combination of just on-off compressors and variable capacity or VFD compressors. And they all have their pros and cons, but they're important if you're talking about controlling temperature and humidity, or just temperature overall load conditions. Okay, a few things I'll point out here. So AAON controls, so you'll hear the term WattMaster. That was the company that used to make these for AAON. AAON purchased that company, so we just call them AAON controls. You'll hear people say AAON WattMaster controllers, and that's what you're looking at here. So it looks really intimidating at first, but when you start learning what each module does, what each controller does, they each have a specific function. It gets pretty easy. I'm not going to go into all that. I will talk about this main controller here, which is called the VCCX controller. And then all these have a specific purpose. Like one of them's for gas heat, one of them's for the hot gas reheat, one of them's for controlling the VFD compressors, etc. Okay, it's just a video. I believe those are VFD compressors. I'm pretty sure they are. This same unit has an FOA flow monitor on it. You can get this direct from the factory. This is the evaporator section, the DX section of that unit, 2-inch, 4-inch filters, which is an option. Not everybody does that, so that's a nice feature. But you can see the stainless steel drain pan there, that's standard. So what you're looking at there is the DX coil, which is right here. And then this coil right here, does anybody know what that is? Anyone want to guess what coil that is? What's it doing? Hot gas reheat, exactly. Yep, exactly. So that's your hot gas reheat coil. And this is a 50-ton, this is called a D cabinet. So this unit has, let's see here if I can find it. It has a staggered coil. There's a decent shot of it, okay? So you can see the coil in the background. So it's one of these kind of things where it's like, I don't know if you see my hands or not, but a little bit of an overlap there. Okay, coils, the fans that AAON uses, not doing too good with this controller today. Direct drive, backward curved plenum fans, not a backward inclined plenum fan, that's a little bit different, but backward curve plenum fans for the supply. What is great about this fan is, well, first of all, there's no belts. It has really good acoustical characteristics. It also is very efficient and has a lot of static capabilities, okay? So way better than your typical forward curve fan, okay? And in these units, you can get up to two fans in the D cabinets. All right, so here I want to point out one thing. You see the refrigerant piping there? So this guy right here is a modulating three-way valve. This gas, this pipe, is coming from your compressor discharge. It goes into the valve, and then it comes off, and the valve determines if it goes to the hot gas reheat coil, which we saw a moment ago, or to the condenser coil. Sometimes it's all going to the hot gas reheat coil. Sometimes it's all going to the condenser. Typically, though, you're getting a variant of that. Like some of it's going to the condenser, some of it's going to the hot gas reheat coil. We'll talk about what controls that. That's one of the, modulating hot gas reheat used to be a huge premium in the industry. I don't think it's much of a premium anymore. AAON, I don't even think offers on-off reheat anymore. It's almost, I think that's exclusively modulating. I could be wrong about that. I've never done a job with on-off reheat with an AAON product. All right, so that was an RND unit. This is an RNC unit. So the C cabinet, this is the inside of this control panel. This has gas heat. That other unit has gas heat as well, but it's in a different section. I didn't open that section for some reason. Here you can see one of the gas burners. There's 2 gas burners in here. So packaged 100% outdoor units with gas heat. AAON's been making their own burners for a long time. They have stainless steel options. They have 3-to-1 turn down. They have some that are 10-to-1 turn down, depending on the size of the unit and the capacity of the heater. And the heaters have a really good warranty. In as long as I sold AAON units, I don't think I ever had an issue with a burner, but they are stainless steel as an option, the burners. So